Hello again, everybody. This is Darren Redmond for Redmond's Wrap Up on FHT Sports for Wednesday night, April 25th. We had two games that we want to talk about right now. One is the Fresno Grizzlies game against the Tacoma Rainiers, and one is Game 3 of playoff action for the Calder Cup with the San Jose Barracuda on the road against the Tucson Roadrunners. We're going to talk about some other stuff as well, but let's talk about the Fresno Grizzlies first. As the weather warms up here in Fresno, it's close to 90 degrees at game time at Chansey Park. Well, the bats for the Fresno Grizzlies were on fire. They plated 10 runs in a 10-0 whitewash of the Tacoma Rainiers. What a great way to start a homestand. But the story really wasn't the hitting. The hitting was great. The story was another unbelievable pitching performance by Cy Sneed, who's now 2-0 on the season and has a minuscule 1.83 ERA. Yes, you heard me correctly. In today's baseball, at that level, ERA of 1.83. Cy Sneed, keep up the great work. It's definitely being noticed by the fans out there and by the media here as well. So just a great job, great pitching, dominating hitting, stellar defense as well. Game 1 against the Rainiers goes to the Fresno Grizzlies. They're back at it tomorrow. And then the Sacramento River Cats coming for a weekend series. We all know what that means, the undertones and everything else. So make sure you get there early and get your ticket for the big couple of games that we're going to have here with the Fresno Grizzlies as they have their second game against the Rainiers tomorrow, and then the weekend series against the River Cats. And again, that was a 10-0 victory today. Cy Sneed with a big victory. Can't say the same about the San Jose Barracuda, who were playing a pivotal Game 3 down in Tucson against the Roadrunners. The best out of 5 series, we all know, especially if you're coming from a split, and the next 3 games are on enemy ice, how pivotal that third game is. But it was a 6-0 affair. Tucson came out banging early, throwing pucks at the net, aggressively trying to split the defense, looking for those rebounds, cycling the puck. Just anything that they needed to do to keep the Barracuda off their heels at the start of the matchup. At the end of the first period, it was 3-0, and it's tough sledding trying to get back from that. Yeah, you have some time to do it, and we had some chances. We missed an empty net, hit a crossbar, but 3-0 deficit was too much to climb out of, and it culminated with a 6-0 loss. So Tucson is on the precipice of advancing and moving on. Here's the thing, here's the key. If you know anything about San Jose Barracuda hockey, you know that they were pretty much eliminated from going to the playoffs to begin with. They had to have other things happen, and they had to win their last 6 games. No team in the AHL that I have seen has done that. No team is as good when their backs are against the wall as the San Jose Barracuda. They have excellent goaltending. Tonight was not the best night, but they have excellent goaltending. They have some scorers that can really get the job done, and they have some very fast skaters and some skilled skaters. So they're really hard to eliminate. They couldn't be eliminated in the regular season. They won the last 6 games in a row. After a tough loss on the first game of the playoff series, they came back and handled very easily the Tucson Roadrunners. Tonight wasn't the night. This is a tough team to get eliminated. So those in Cuda Nation, don't give up. You know, you got a big game coming up Friday. You win on Friday, then it's winner take all. It's a lot easier. It's a lot harder when you have to try to eliminate somebody than when you're desperate and don't want to be eliminated. So let's just go. We'll go one game at a time. We'll see what happens. Roy Summer will have this team ready. So that's what's happening there. Some other notes to discuss. This coming Friday, the Fresno State Bulldogs softball team is up in Boise. Very important 3 games. They got a 2-game lead right now in the Mountain West Conference. They're just playing great right now. Boise will not go away. So this is a good weekend to see if we can get some distance between the Fresno State and Boise State. Our pitching is really going to help carry us. That's the way it has been all season. Some timely hitting as well. Galvin behind the plate. She does a great job. So we'll keep you abreast here at FHT Sports on everything throughout the weekend with Fresno State softball and what's going on there. So look for our tweets. And again, also remember, hit that like button. Hit that share button. Write those comments. I love that you write them on the social media postings. It's great. try to do it on the YouTube channel as well in comments, and let's engage and let's really build the FHT community that we all are looking for. We talked about the fact that the Fresno Grizzlies will be in action again this weekend against Sacramento. But also we have in action, and don't forget, is the Fresno State men's baseball team. They have a big series against Air Force. I mean, wouldn't it be great to bring your daughter or your son out to watch the Air Force team and all the pageantry and history that goes with that, and quite frankly, watch Fresno State take it to them. That's what we're looking to do as these two teams get ready for the Mountain West playoffs coming up. And it looks like it's going to be pivotal for Fresno State to win the Mountain West playoffs to have any chance of getting into the whole playoff race, the national playoff race. So that's what we're looking to do. The first game will be Friday night. I will be there personally on Friday evening covering the game for FHT Sports. So if you see me, look up, wave hello. Love to shake your hand and thank you for your support. So that's what's going on there. One last thing. I want to kind of step out of Central Valley sports, if you don't mind. Serge the Hockey Guru's team lost today, Toronto. And, the one thing about sports, we're passionate about it, is because it's a lot more than the time and place. And yeah, there's a lot more things so much more important than sports. We know that. But the reason we're passionate about it is because as time goes on, sports is the greatest time machine there ever is. Because when you're watching a game, all of a sudden, you're a kid again. You really are. You're thinking about the time that you were sitting there and, maybe Mike Gartner did something great, and you remember that and you harken back to that. Or in my case, being just a diehard Ranger fan, watching, the Broadway Blues, just get the job done, and John Davidson in that, and before that, Eddie Jockman and Nick Fotiu from Staten Island, and Ron Duguay. Man, that guy just does not age. Ron Duguay does not age. And in terms of waiting a long time for a Stanley Cup, as a New York Ranger fan, I feel your pain. And because when you're growing up and you're my age, and we don't need to get into that. You had a nice run at the Stanley Cup in 1979. John Davidson just was amazing in net. Couldn't get anything by him. But then they ran into those Canadians with Ken Dryden and came a little short. And then I had to watch the Islanders, who were a great team. Hated them, still do. They were a great team, great players. Some wonderful players, except for Dennis Potvin. You'll never hear me say a good thing about Dennis Potvin. Can you hear the music in the background? Anyway, my point is, in 1994, when they finally won the Cup, now there are people who weren't even born yet, in 94, who, you're like, wow, that was forever ago. But you know what? It wasn't. For me, it was just like yesterday. Now, obviously, I want them to win, and a couple of years ago, I felt like they lost to a tough LA Kings team that I thought they would beat. But I can hold on to that Stanley Cup. I know what it's like having to hear that 1940. I tell you, not as a friend, but as somebody who has been watching hockey for a long time, Toronto Maple Leafs are close. They are very close. They'll get there, and they'll get there in your lifetime. I believe that, and so my Rangers as well. Another thing too is we're part of the original 6 teams, and that means something. And if you don't think it means something, you don't know hockey. So that's great, and I'm sure they'll be right back at it next year. My team needs a lot of help. But so that's the situation there. And lastly, getting a little personal. Not a bad year. Both of our children and Uncle Tony's as well are state champions in their hockey this year. So that was amazing. So I'm taking that with me to the bank because that's a forever memory. Watching our kids win the title, win the state championship. The 3 of us, very fortunate about that. So look forward to Uncle Tony tomorrow. Look forward to Serge the Hockey Guru. Those guys are going to talk about the next round of the playoffs. I'm going to talk more about Central Valley sports and Fresno and San Jose and anything else you want to hear about. And we'll talk some baseball along the way. And we're going to talk a little bit of the draft tomorrow too. So thank you very much, everybody. And please keep watching Redmond's Wrap-Up on FHT Sports. Share, hit that like button, and share your comments. We are privileged to work hard for you. Have a great day.